Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside Outlook. I'm Tony Trongone, Superintendent at Pemberton Township Schools. And we're going to schools around the district to look at exciting things that are happening in the schools. And today we're at Busansky School and celebrating their work in the school. And here with me today, I have folks from Busansky. We're having a lot of fun already. And so I'll start with my introduction of, can you just introduce yourself and your position?
I'm Mrs. DeBella and I'm the principal.
Tammy Zimmerman, third grade teacher.
Kristen Ludman, third grade in-class resource.
Nicole Kukutsa, fourth grade teacher.
Danielle Dancer, fourth grade in-class resource.
Good, good. First question is for Ms. DeBella. Character education, it's a big initiative in the district, and I could see some warm and fuzzy things going on here, so to speak. So can you give me a little background on the character education program here at Busansky?
Yes, Mr. Trongone. This is my second year at Busansky, but I have to say that when I arrived last year, I already had a lot of staff, students, families, invested in what the good character that should happen as a part of our school. So I'm lucky enough to continue the journey. I have a great character education team of staff members that have come together to help us. We have student ambassadors in our school that are also helping and contributing to our plan for character education. Though it is a journey, every day is about doing what's best, not just academically, but also just to make sure that everybody is a good person. So that is what we do every day. It is not an assembly that does it, it's the work that we do every day.
Okay, great. Now, recently we had some folks attend a conference in Washington, D.C. because they were awarded a national Character Ed Promising Practice Award. And I'm going to start off with Tammy Zimmerman and Kristen Ludman, and they were awarded for their promise and practice of 60 Days of Service Journal. Can you guys elaborate for me?
So my partner and I, Kristen, started a 60 Days of Service Journal, and we wanted to give our students an opportunity to see real life examples of service and what it looks like. We teach them the definition, we talk about the non-examples of what service is, but we came up with this idea that if we took small clips from places like Little Things or NBC Nightly News or BuzzFeed, that they could start to see some of the real life examples of how service is done on an everyday basis.
And the journal allows them to record those experiences that they've watched, and by the end of the year they have a whole journal full of examples of service, and they're allowed to talk with one another and discuss the examples of service that they've seen in the videos, and it also then is the jumping board for them to start their own acts of service. So an example would be a gentleman that started mowing lawns for members of his community that couldn't mow their own lawns, and students then talked to one another, and the natural conversation that happened was, well, how could I help out the members of my community? I could take in their trash cans, or I could pick up their mail for them or their newspaper for them. So it just spurs conversations of how they can be more active in servicing their community, both home and school.
So what grade are your students?
Third grade.
Third grade, great. So I'm learning from the two of you on this particular practice that you're building a base knowledge, because I hear it's service learning. Where do you think this will go in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade and onward?
Well, we're proud to say that since acquiring the Promising Practice Award, the character education team came together and felt as though this was something that the entire school should do. So Ms. DeBella was able to provide a character journal for every student in the school, and a section of that character journal is designated for 60 Days of Service. So now we can proudly say that every student in the school is aware of 60 Days of Service, and it's a conversation that can take place across grade levels.
That's great. But how about physically doing it outside the classroom? Is there an extrapolation to that?
Well, that's our hope, that it's a lifelong thing, that it will spur them to always, our goal is to develop good citizens, and service is definitely a huge part of that. So in teaching them young, we're hoping that they'll continue on with that for the rest of their lives.
That's great. Thank you, ladies. And the next promise in practice was for Warm and Fuzzy Circle with Nicole and Danielle. So,
Great. Well, our practice is called the Warm and Fuzzy Circle because it really serves the purpose of making all of the members involved feel warm and fuzzy inside. It starts off by having our class form a close-knit circle, and one at a time the students share a kind thought, a positive feeling about another student. and every student gets a chance to share, and every student gets something said about them. Once that's happened, it opens up for discussion, and the students are able to share some more. With every kind word that's said, the students place a little pom-pom in a bin, so it creates a visual of kindness being built up in our classroom.
Good stuff.
Yeah. It's a really great opportunity for our students to be kind and choose to be kind and reach out to students that maybe they're not friends with on a regular basis and make them feel good about themselves, building themselves up by giving them encouraging words and sharing those kind, warm and fuzzy thoughts with each other.
So how does that go along? Like in September, it might be, I like something that's basic. I like your shirt, or I like your hat. Does it go deeper than that as the year progresses?
That's exactly what happens. Actually, I use that as an example all the time. It starts off with, I like your hair today. And we always do on the first day of school or the first week of school. And then as the year goes on, we do them sporadically, and they get deeper and deeper and deeper. And I always like to share that the past 2 years that we've done them, the last week of school, our entire class was in tears because they didn't want to leave our classroom. So it really, it's great. It turns your class into a family. It really does.
I got two more questions for the group, but I'll focus it on Mr. Bell. You can shift it off to the team.
Sure.
And so the first question is, you were awarded a State School of Character honorable mention.
Yes.
And so where are we at with like this year moving forward? Because you talked about it being a journey.
Yes.
I'm assuming that the folks here, ladies here, are part of that team.
Everyone here is a part of the character ed team and also a part of writing the next character school.
And where are we at with that?
State School Character application. You know what? I'm going to let Tammy and Nicole, because they were just writing yesterday.
Great.
Tell them how hard it is right now. Because it is a little bit harder. Even though we have a base application, it's a little bit harder because.
Okay. Well, I think it's a little bit harder because as we encourage our students to be reflective, we are sitting and looking at where we were a year ago, and we're using our own reflective practices to see how much we've grown. And it is an honor to write it for the school, and there's a responsibility that comes with writing that. And so it's difficult because it's all-encompassing. The application process itself is very detailed, and you have to be very careful in picking and choosing what you want to spotlight and what you have to leave out. So just that part of it is a journey, but I think we are so enthusiastic about what we're doing here at our school that we want to give the proper recognition to the hard work that our staff is doing. So that in itself is hard, and of course we want it. So and we feel as though we are doing the things that character.org wants to see, and so we want to take that responsibility, but also be an example to our students, to our staff, that through perseverance and hard work, you can be recognized.
Great.
And let's acknowledge the whole staff, because
Definitely.
these are our character leaders, our teachers right here, but every staff member is vested in becoming a state school of character and doing whatever we need to do and do it every day to make sure that, and it's not about the application, it's about good citizens, it's about good students, it's about everybody doing the best work that they can do.
So in that application, there's parts of that, like the pillars that you have to fulfill. So if you could just, I know this is a short segment, give me, what is a strength in those pillars and what you think you need to address in the upcoming year in the application? When you reflect on it, we're really good at this and we need to address this, just two of them.
Can I begin this and then add in? Only because it's something that came out from the feedback that we received. So one of the things that I think that we have begun and are putting into practice is making sure that character education, it's easy to have good character in the classroom because the teachers are there to be a part of that and to encourage, but sometimes it's difficult in our unstructured areas. So that has been a very strong focus for us. For the bus, we have character cards. For our cafeteria, we have what we call our golden spatula that gets awarded now. with no extrinsic rewards involved. Really, it's about the intrinsics of just earning the golden spatula for the best cafeteria table. And we're also using sliding into good character for a recess period. So these are things that the team worked on very closely over the summer, because we had our summer meetings, and put into place and presented it to the staff, and now everybody's on board. So I believe that's something that we have done a good job with to strengthen our character application for the upcoming, application process.
Great. Anything else?
I definitely think a strength of our school is that we are a caring community. We're doing so many wonderful practices to really make not only just make our school a state of character, but we want that for our school. We truly believe that character education is a top priority, because academics may not be as successful without character education.
That's great, Nicole. And I noticed that too. This is not the first time I've gone through a character education cycle and a journey. And I want to make sure I do notice there's a lot of great things going on in your school. And I think what this process also does, because I'm doing the interview, but it formalizes a lot of the good things that all your colleagues are already doing. And it's that affirmation that, yeah, we are a caring community.
Exactly.
And so that's what I like about when you go through the process. It gives that affirmation to our staff that yes, we are a good school.
Yeah.
I mean, just from Tammy and I writing the application, like she was saying a little bit, we have so much to say and we just can't say it all. And that makes us feel really good, because we know that in our hearts we are a state school of character.
Right.
We're doing so many things already.
It's nice to be validated for what we're already doing.
Exactly. Well, thank you. And again, I look forward to some more promising practices, and then for the subsequent year, and then also see how this application goes, and in our journey, getting that state school character. I'm excited.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm honored to sit here with you ladies and then affirm your hard work. So I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it.
Well, you heard it here at Busansky School. We have some great character education initiatives going on. But again, to surmise it, we were already doing a lot of great things. So we're honoring our teachers and our students and our community about the things that we already were doing and formalizing that, but also looking at the journey and looking how we're going to, through reflective practices, improve what we do every day here at Busansky School. So closing, this is Tony Trongone. Inside Outlook, thank you.